All right, welcome to another big edition of the Steve Gruber Show. Glad to have you along for the conversation. A warning to you. The Steve Gruber Show often results in extended periods of American pride, American optimism, and uncontrollable enthusiasm in this country's future, kicking off the live broadcast day on Real America's Voice, MTN, and reaching a global audience. This is the Steve Gruber Show. Here are three big things you need to know this hour. Number one, southern border apprehensions have plummeted more than 90% from 1 year ago on April 24 to last month. Number two, GLP-1 is one of the most popular weight loss prescriptions on the market today, and it may have other remarkable benefits, including dropping the risk of cancer in half. And number three, we've got a lot to talk about, but first, a live shot. Donald Trump is in Saudi Arabia at this hour, greeting dignitaries. Part of his entourage, Sam Altman, just went through. Elon Musk is there. Big business is along with Donald Trump on this visit to Saudi Arabia. And I'm also told that 25 years on, they will discuss 9/11 and the need to eradicate radicalism, to eliminate terrorism in this world. We'll see how it all plays out. Donald Trump on the first of his three-leg trip. He will go from Saudi Arabia to UAE to Qatar. And there it is, a live shot of Donald Trump greeting the Saudi royals, and the Saudi royals leading and meeting his entourage. All right. We'll keep an eye on that. See if anything big happens. We'll keep you up to date. Speaking of health care, healthcare costs have been the top driver of Bidenflation in recent years. American consumers pay significantly higher drug prices. Why? Because Big Pharma offsets the lower prices negotiated by European single-payer healthcare systems. This parasitic relationship has let European countries keep drug prices low in their socialized systems, while the United States subsidizes pharmaceutical research and development. But President Trump says no more, making this groundbreaking announcement. Listen to this.
But starting today, the United States will no longer subsidize the health care of foreign countries, which is what we were doing. We're subsidizing others' health care. Countries where they paid a small fraction of what, for the same drug, that what we pay many, many times more for. And will no longer tolerate profiteering and price gouging from Big Pharma. But again, it was really the countries that forced Big Pharma to do things that, frankly, I'm not sure they really felt comfortable doing. But they've gotten away with it, these countries. European Union has been brutal. And the drug companies actually told me stories. It was just brutal how they forced them. And we are going to pay the lowest price there is in the world. We will get whoever is paying the lowest price, that's the price that we're going to get. So remember that. So we're no longer paying 10 times more than another country. Whoever is paying the lowest price, we will look at that price and we will say that's the price we're going to pay. Most favored nations, that's what it is. One breast cancer drug costs Americans over $16,000 per bottle. But the same drug from the same factory, manufactured by the same company, is 1/6 that price in Australia and 1/10 that price in Sweden. 1/10 for the identical product.
There you have it. Donald Trump's latest executive order steals, by the way, a card from Bernie Sanders' deck, who said he would lower health care by 50%. Well, the latest executive order directs the Department of Health and Human Services to ensure that U.S. drug prices match the lowest prices paid by peer nations, potentially cutting costs up to 80% within 30 days. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. must set clear price reduction targets for drug manufacturers. If, quote, adequate progress is not made within 6 months, HHS can impose MFN, most favored nation pricing, through rulemaking. He's not the only one undertaking the issue. The U.S. Trade Representative and Secretary of Commerce has been directed to address foreign practices that undercut U.S. prices, aiming to equalize global pricing. And the order expands importation of lower-cost drugs from developed nations beyond Canada, directing the Department of Justice and Federal Trade Commission to enforce actions against anti-competitive practices that keep U.S. prices high. This is all big stuff, folks. The executive order also encourages programs allowing American patients to buy drugs directly from manufacturers at MFN prices, bypassing middlemen like pharmacy benefit managers. If the first several months of Donald Trump's presidency have taught us anything, it's that the courts love to block the president's agenda. There's a good chance they'll try to throw up obstacles against this, too, and try to make you continue to pay more. It's going to be key for Congress to pass this order as legislation if we want to stick, and if we want it to stick. Joe Biden had 11 bills signed before the end of his first 100 days, with Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats running the House. This time around, Republicans have sent five bills to the president's desk. Now, having said that, the one big bill is going to encompass a lot of things. But we need our elected officials to get on board and get things done. This is an issue that Democrats have been campaigning on for decades. And did they do anything about it? No. No. Now's a great chance for them to back something they say they care about and make a rare show of bipartisanship that could go a long way in healing the toxic political landscape they've helped create. Is that too much to ask? I get the feeling they'd say yes. Meanwhile, the world's two largest economies are putting a pause on retaliatory tariffs. That's right. President Trump's done it again. After years of Biden's weakness on China, Trump just showed the world what real leadership looks like. Here he is again. Listen.
In addition, yesterday we achieved a total reset with China after productive talks in Geneva. Both sides now agreed to reduce the tariffs imposed after April 2nd to 10% for 90 days as negotiators continue on the larger structural issues. And I want to tell you that a couple of things. First of all, that doesn't include the tariffs that are already on, that are our tariffs, and it doesn't include tariffs on cars, steel, aluminum, things such as that, or tariffs that may be imposed on pharmaceuticals, because we want to bring the pharmaceutical businesses back to the United States, and they're already starting to come back now based on tariffs.
Yeah. In a major win for American workers in business, Trump's team struck the deal with China to dramatically lower tariffs on both sides, at least for the next 90 days. The U.S. cutting those tariffs, as you heard, on Chinese goods is going to go from 145% down to 30%. That's a 115% cut. China slashing its duties on our products from 125% to just 10%. That's massive. And guess what? The markets loved it. The Dow shot up over 1,000 points. Retailers, tech, stocks, you name it, all flying high. And today they're going to open a bit higher again. This comes at the perfect time, right before back to school and the holidays. You can thank Trump for that. He's playing smart, using leverage to reset the table and force China to treat American businesses fairly. He's even open to meeting with President Xi to hammer out a final deal on our terms. This is a 180 from how the Biden administration handled China. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent was the one in Geneva carrying out the trade talks with Chinese officials over the weekend, 2 intense days. He revealed this. Listen.
What has to happen is it has to be fair for the American people. But in January 2020, President Trump produced a template. We had an excellent trade agreement with China, and the Biden administration chose not to enforce it. The Chinese delegation basically told us that once President Biden came into office, they just ignored their obligations. So, we all already have a large framework.
All right, we're going to keep an eye on Donald Trump live in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia this morning. As we go to break here, he's meeting with all the Saudi dignitaries as he has landed there for the first of a 3-leg trip in the Middle East. A quick dip in live to look at President Trump. He's on the ground in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, beginning in what is the first leg of a 3-leg trip to the Middle East. He'll be in Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Qatar, meeting with dignitaries from both his entourage and the House of Saud there in Saudi Arabia. We'll keep an eye on that. If any news breaks, of course, we'll bring it to you here first. China, meanwhile, ignored Joe Biden, as you recall, because they knew he was weak. And for all the terrible things and mud thrown at Donald Trump, there is not a single world leader who would call him weak. They might call him a lot of things. Weak is not one of them. Meanwhile, another piece of good news, because it just keeps on coming. The last American hostage believed to be alive has come home from Gaza. Here's hostage Eden Alexander's mom getting to speak with him for the first time in 500 days before being reunited with him. Trump's Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff hands her the phone.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! He done? He done?
don't have to speak her language to understand the joy and relief she is experiencing. Thanks to President Trump and his team once again. This is what he promised to do, and he's officially delivered on that promise again. It's been a monumental weekend for peace. If Trump actually manages to kickstart real peace talks between Ukraine and Russia, put an end to the violence in Gaza, and help keep things calm between Pakistan and India, then I'd say he's more than earned that coveted Nobel Peace Prize. He should have earned it in his first term around the Abraham Accords, but the Nobel Committee clearly has something against Donald Trump. I wouldn't put it past them to continue ignoring the massive steps he's made toward peace around the globe this time either. But President Trump doesn't do it for the accolades. He does it because it's the right thing to do. And he's the man for the job. What do the Democrats have to offer? Weak, aimless, divisive messaging. Here's Representative Jasmine Crockett on what her party's plans are in their efforts to defeat Donald Trump. Listen.
It is this fear that the people within the party, within the primary system, will have about voting for a woman, because every time we voted for a woman, we've lost so far. And I think that that's a natural fear because we just want to win. So there's a lot of people that are like, you know what? Like, let's go find the safest white boy we can find. I mean, I'm just saying.
Those are the callers that we're hearing. We're hearing people.
No, for real.
A white man's got to do it. We're getting those callers.
For real. And to be clear, when we talk about them, I can tell you that there is one specific candidate. I had a donor on the phones with me telling me that all the donors are lining up behind that candidate. So I can tell, and I can tell you, it's not a black person nor woman, okay?
Yeah. It's all about race with these folks. The party never learns. They think the only problem with their previous candidates were that they were women or they were black. So they think the fix is a safe white boy. They boil everything down to race and gender. It's unbelievable, but it's true and it's sad. It's going to continue costing them. Not that I mind, but I want to see a country as a whole that judges ideas, people, you name it, based on merit, not skin color or gender. Bill Maher, a raging liberal himself, agrees, says the party continues to dig its own grave. Listen to this.
And the Democratic Party keep encouraging and not rebuking the idea that America is cringe and the people who run Gaza are great. The Democrats are doomed. Alyssa Slotkin's right. Liberals are weak and woke, especially the white ones, and they indulge all sorts of nonsense from their kids, a pattern that then continues on in the Democratic Party. Last election, it was all the gender stuff, the insistence that men can have babies and such, and now I fear that we like the terrorists is the new that. Liberals need to push back on the dumb ideas that come from their children. The Democrats' problem is the energy of the parties with the young and the young are with the terrorists. That's not good. So talk to your children and remind them, you don't really want to live like your heroes in Hamas. All the shit you do all day, it was all made in America. Your smartphone, your Grubhub, your freedom to bitch about America, that's all American stuff. You tell your phone you want a milkshake and a guy brings it to your house.
Exactly right. He's right. Alyssa Slotkin's right. But they pledged their support to the wrong party. If President Trump continues to deliver wins like he has these last few days, and if Congress can actually do its job and codify some of these orders into law, the Democrat Party will be defunct, maybe forever, until they put America first. That'll be the day pigs fly, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure about that. Disappointing. Let's jump back. One quick shot of President Trump there in Saudi Arabia. This is what leadership looks like on the world stage, folks. There it is. The President of the United States meeting in Saudi Arabia. It's 6:20 something in the morning, Eastern time. And there he is. Like he's had a full 8 hours of sleep. He never does. But that's what leadership looks like. That's what we traded in, by the way. Let's talk about your health for a moment. You could try a different route before you deal with Big Pharma in the first place. Did you know 60 million Americans have parasites? That's a frightening number, isn't it? And parasites, ew. They secretly invade your body, wreaking havoc on your gut, energy level, and even your brain. The mainstream medical system, they don't want you to think about this because one great cleanse can change your life, make you feel better. This is the hottest thing going right now. The wellness company has a solution for you. Ivermectin and mebendazole. FDA-approved parasite solutions now combined in just one cleanse. Just fill out a brief medical intake form and get your 3-month supply. Lots of parasite cleanses all over social media, but not the gold standard level. Make America Healthy is officially here, and the wellness company is making hard-to-get medications digitally accessible so you can live your best life. All you have to do to get this, go to twc.health/Gruber. Use the promo code Gruber. You'll save $60 plus free shipping, so you'll save even more. Don't wait. Cleanse your body today. twc.health/Gruber. This is the hottest thing going, this parasite cleanse. And I'm waiting for mine. It's in the mail. Should be here any second now. And when it does, I'm going to tell you exactly how it works for me. There it is. twc.health/Gruber. Get the cleanse today. All right, we can take Donald Trump all the way into the break as we watch the president in Saudi Arabia greeting dignitaries there live as he is now in Riyadh. Pretty exciting stuff for this president. He is the global leader. Look at that. That's what strength and America First looks like, my friends. We'll take a break on the Steve Gruber Show.